Chapter 4. Mr. Gum has a cup of tea. Mr. Gum had a cup of tea. Chapter 5. Jammy, Grammy, Lammy, Fupa, Berlin, Stereo, Eo, Leb, Siep, Mnemonica, Lestrepec, De Grespin, De Crespin, De Spespin, De Yespin, De Whoop, De Loop, De Brunkle, Merry Christmas, and moi. The next morning, Mr. Gum inspected the cowhearts. They had been soaking all night in rat poison, and they were good and proper dangerous to dogs now, and gave off a foul smell even worse than before. That blibbering dog'll be smelling this bad smell, and with the animal insects of animals he'll refuse to eat 'em, thought the crafty old man. I'd better disguise the smell with something nice. Mr. Gum looked through his kitchen cupboards, but was there anything nice in there? Of course there wasn't. All he could find was a rotten turnip, a dried-up mushroom, and a sock full of stale crisps. So off he headed into town. He was in a filthy mood, and as he walked along he muttered to himself. "Shabba me whiskers," he muttered. "Who'd have thought poisoning that stupid whopper dog could be such hard work? What a bother it all is." There was a little girl playing in the hedge as Mr. Gum walked by, and she heard what he said and grew alarmed. "What's old Mr. Gum up to now with talk of poisoning whopper dogs?" said the little girl to herself. "What whopper dog can he mean?" She ran through a list of all the whopper dogs that she knew. It didn't take long because she only knew one, Jake, that big, lovable, golden old hound. "No!" she cried. "No! I won't let it happen. I loves that dog. Watch out, 'cause it's true. I loves him more, and what's more, that dog saved my life once, and now I'm not going to stand by playing in a hedge while that old grizzler flipping poisons him to death and destruction. No way, says I. I'll stop him, that's what I'll do." Now this little girl's name was Jammy, Grammy, Lammy, Fupa, Berlin, Stereo, Eo, Leb, Shiep, Mnemonica, Lestrape, De Grespin, De Crespin, De Spespin, De Vespin, De Whoop, De Loop, De Brunkle, Merry Christmas, Lemoir. But her friends just called her Polly. You'll have to make up your mind now whether or not you are her friend. If you are, then you can call her Polly too. But if you're not, then every time you see the name Polly in this story, in your head, you will have to say, Jammy, Grammy, Lammy, Fupa, Berlin, Stereo, Eo, Leb, Shiep, Mnemonica, Lestrepec, De Grespin, De Crespin, De Spespin, De Vespin, De Whoop, De Loop, De Brunkle, Merry Christmas, Lemoir, instead. For instance, she's about to go running down a hill like this. Polly went racing down the hill like a runaway marble. Now, if you're her friend, then don't worry about it. But if you're not her friend, you'll have to read it like this. Jammy, Grammy, Lammy, Fupa, Berlin, Stereo, Eo, Leb, Shiep, Mnemonica, Lestrape, De Grespin, De Spespin, De Vespin, De Whoop, De Loop, De Brunkle, Merry Christmas, Lemoir went racing down the hill like a runaway marble. Most people in Lamonic Bibber chose to be Polly's friend for the sake of time and convenience. Luckily though, Polly was a girl worth liking. She was 9 years old with lovely sandy hair like a cat's daydream and a smile as happy as the Bank of England. And when she laughed, the sunlight went splashing off her pretty teeth like diamonds in search of adventure. So Polly went racing down the hill like a runaway marble, determined to find Jake the dog before he fell victim to Mr. Gum's evil scheme. She didn't know exactly what the old man had in mind, but she knew her big friend was in trouble. She ran past the old curiosity shop and then ran back because she was curious to see what was inside. Then she remembered the danger Jake was in and continued on her way. She ran past a dustbin filled with rubbish, and then another one filled with rubbish, and then another one filled with rubbish, and then another one filled with princesses. There was something unusual about one of those dustbins, she had time to think, but she had to keep on running. She ran past big trees, little trees, tiny little trees, and tiny little trees, so small they were more like pebbles. In fact, they were pebbles. She ran past a cat's ears, which were lying on the pavement, and a cat's nose and whiskers, which were lying on the pavement, and a cat's body and tail and legs and eyes and claws, which were lying on the pavement. In fact, it was all just one cat lying on the pavement. She ran like the wind and then got tired and just walked like a breeze. But she soon sped up again because she was determined to save that tremendous dog. It was only after she'd been running for about half an hour that she remembered something quite important. She had absolutely no idea where Jake had lived. And what's more, She was no longer in Lamonic Bibber. She had come to the woods on the edge of town, and they were big and scary and full of shadows. The ancient trees looked down from on high, stern and forbidding. "We are the trees," they seemed to whisper. "You are not welcome in this place. We are the trees." A cold wind blew, making Polly shiver, and she was certain one of the flowers was snarling at her. "Oh no!" she cried, sitting down on one of those massive toadstools you sometimes get in spooky woods. "I don't know where I am, and that old Jake's facing the biggest challenge of his doggy life, and I doesn't know where to find him, and that flower's probably going to eat me." And with that, she burst into tears. Just then, an old man peered out of the window of a secret cottage, half hidden in the bushes behind her. Polly hadn't noticed the cottage, and I'm sure you wouldn't have either. That's the thing about secret cottages. They're secret. "Well, well, well," said the old man. "What have we here?" "A little girl in trouble." And here this chapter ends, leaving you to wonder if the old man was Mr. Gum or if it was a different old man who was going to be nasty to Polly and laugh at her and stuff. Or maybe he was a good man. Yes, this chapter ends here with me not telling you that Polly was sitting outside the cottage of Friday O'Leary, a fantastic old fellow who knew the mysteries of time and space and things of that nature. And with me not telling you that he is one of the heroes of this tale. Haha, I'm going to keep that information to myself, and you will have to wait till chapter 7 to find it out. That is what is known as suspense.